So it turns out that leading a group of protesters to storm a church isn't a smart move after all. Who knew? Because now 3 of the lead individuals, ladies and gentlemen, have been arrested. And the message from the Trump administration is crystal clear, with Pam Bondi making it plain. They're done playing the games. This isn't about politics anymore. No, it's about law, order, and consequences. And for the people who thought that they could just create chaos without paying a price, the bill just came due. As always, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. That's how you let me know that you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can get more of the content, and share this video. That way more people see what's really going on.
On a Fox News alert, because moments ago, remember that church incident on Sunday in Minneapolis? The AG Pam Bondi posted this, all right? I'm reading now. Minutes ago, at my direction, HSI and FBI agents executed an arrest in Minnesota. So far, we've arrested okay, we'll come back to that. So far, we have arrested Nikema Levy-Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in organizing the coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. We will share more updates as they become available. Listen loud and clear. We do not tolerate attacks on places of worship, end quote. I want you to react to that, Paul. But on Monday, Tricia McLaughlin was on with Dana and me. And part of her answer said, I think we will be seeing mugshots very soon. She was tipping her hand that arrests were on the way, and this is the first one that's been made.
Yeah, and you know, look, there's going to be very, very little that they can do in defense of this because it's on film, and for once they didn't cover their faces. Now here is the thing that's going to come out of this. You have her under arrest, now you're going to get the communications.
The only way you stop people from feeling this comfortable and that entitled to the point where they don't even fear the consequences is meaningful arrests that lead to real charges. That's it. Nothing else. Because when you have people who will violate others' constitutional and civil rights, they want to still interfere with lawful ICE operations, and they think that nothing will happen, what that is a signal that enforcement has been weak. That's the only reason they felt bold enough to storm into a church and confront a pastor they believed worked with ICE. And here's the part that makes it worse. Reportedly, the pastor wasn't even there that day. And so all of that for nothing. Now they're arrested, and we're about to see what accountability looks like. But before we go any further, I want you to look here more at the ringleader and how protesting has been reportedly become profitable for her. Take a listen.
There's another thing about this, the woman that they've just arrested. I talked a little bit about this on the 5 yesterday because Cam Cawthorn, he writes for Fox Digital, and he had a piece about her. So she's been doing professional protesting and organizing for a long time. She gets a lot of grants from different nonprofits, and she's always made more money than she has spent. So like there's a financial incentive for her. There's a business model for these types of things.
We've talked about this really since I've been on the network. One of the things that I've tried to sort of bang the gong on that I think a lot of police who do investigations see that the public doesn't see is that there is a job, career protester. And it has developed over the last, let's say, dozen years or so into a very lucrative industry. And you have people who do this for a living, make a ton of money. Yes. They weaponize people who don't know any better. And to use the Leninist term, useful idiots. They're looking for any cause in the world. They get them out of the campuses. They grow those groups and those institutions. And then they pick out people who want to stay in that world, who don't go back to East Cupcake and get a job eventually after college. They stay in that. They become the middle management, and it grows and it grows. It's very much like any other industry. The problem with it is if you dig down deep enough, you find out that there's tax money going into all of this stuff.
Yeah. Keep in mind, she said so far, so that would indicate more to come.
There's more coming.
Thank you. I'm trespassing at a minimum.
So you've seen and you heard that. And so here's a little bit more information on that. Anti-ICE church storming activists took home over $1 million from anti-poverty nonprofit she led. And so according to the reports, anti-activist Nikema Levy-Armstrong, who helped organize the disruptive protest, received more than $1 million in total compensation over a 6-year period while leading a nonprofit focused on anti-poverty efforts. During that period, the foundation reported approximately $5.24 million in total revenue. Armstrong compensation included $936,395 in salary, $201,313 in additional benefits, such as health coverage, plan contributions, and deferred compensation. And that's what brought her total amount to over 1.1 million per the report. In contrast, get this, the nonprofit dispersed roughly $700,052 in grants to community initiatives over that same 6-year period. So the balance is a bit off. In 2024, the foundation awarded $158,811 in grants, while Armstrong received $215,726 in salary and over $40,548 in other compensation in 2023. Protesting has this financial incentives, as you can see, for a lot of these people who are out there like that leading the way. And so now she's arrested. But just like clockwork, after she stormed the church, she ran straight to CNN to spin the narrative and claim she did nothing wrong. But unfortunately for her, she apparently forgot she invited Don Lemon, and he recorded a lot of what went down. And the video tells a very different story than what she's trying to sell now. And so let's listen to what she told CNN, and then we'll compare it to what actually happened. Take a listen.
And I do want to correct something that was said in the beginning. We did not rush into that church. We actually went and sat down and participated in the service. And after the pastor prayed, that is when I stood up and asked him a question in response to his prayer. And then he responded to me. And then I proceeded to ask him about Pastor David Easterwood and how is it possible for him to serve as both the pastor and the director of ICE for Minnesota. And instead of responding to me, as soon as I said the name David Easterwood, the pastor says, "Shame, shame." And that is when I led us in chants, "Justice for Renee Good" and "Hands Up, Don't Shoot." So I want to clarify that. We didn't rush in. We didn't bust in. We were a part of the service until I got up and posed that question to the pastor.
All right. And obviously, I'm not going to dispute your saying what happened. I'm merely describing how CNN is describing it. I obviously wasn't in the room.
So, of course, CNN, no problem, no pushback on anything she just said, allowing her to spin whatever narrative she wants on national television to tell the viewing public. Of course, this is the same network that will fact check Scott Jennings when he says things that are actually factual right there live as he's speaking. But no. Just take the woman who just stormed a church at her word. I mean, it's literally on video. Her letting everyone know they're there to disrupt business as usual. Basic level of journalism by CNN could have, figured that out. A quick search on X.
Tell us why you're doing this.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now.
And so she's not the only one. They also got William Kelly. This one comes straight from Christy Noem's X account, is being charged with conspiracy to deprive rights a federal crime and violating the FACE Act 18 USC 248 for his involvement in the St. Paul church riots. Here's a bit of how he sounded right before he was arrested. Take a listen.
They've just arrested Nikema Armstrong for our protest on Sunday. My lawyers tell me they have no fucking case. This use of the FACE Act and the KKK Act is complete bullshit. But let's be honest, they don't fucking care. They don't believe in the rule of law. They're fascists. They're now going after fucking the Clintons for the Epstein files? What the fuck? God damn it, people. When will you stop fucking acting like everything's normal and going about your fucking days? Get in the fucking streets now. It's time to shut this country down. We are at fascism. The republic has fucking fallen. Please, Americans, please stand up for something. Do not be the same as those in 1930s Germany. Because right now, that's exactly what you're all fucking doing. Please wake the fuck up.
Yeah, so you seen and you heard that, and people like that who, so you seen and you heard that, and unfortunately for people like that who seem not to carry themselves as if they have all their faculties together, if you know what I'm saying, a couple eggs short of a dozen, if you understand what I mean, because they've allowed themselves to be so radicalized by the extreme left, and so now he's over here spewing rhetoric where, in his mind, perhaps he truly does believe that we are living in 1930s Nazi Germany. Unfortunately, because of the radicalization of the left and him giving in to these ideas that he had been brainwashed with, to the point where that has become his reality. Not reality is in the sense of it being real, but what he chooses to believe and actually listen to. As I mentioned to you guys from the very beginning, there were 3 arrests. And so another perp walk, Chantel Louise Allen, has officially been charged with conspiracy to deprive rights due to her role in the St. Paul church riots.
Lockup's in there. We'll bring her in. She'll stand off to the side. I know this only because I just did it once.
Wow. And so, like with most things, ladies and gentlemen, when things like this get out of hand and people believe that there are no consequences for the things they do, that they don't fear the rule of law, then you got to make an example of someone or a few people in order to get things back in order. And the hopes are, with that example, people realize that you're no longer playing games and that you're not going to allow for interference when it comes to interfering with federal law enforcement officers and believing that you have some entitled right to storm into a church and protest on behalf of how you feel about a political situation, violating other civil and constitutional rights. But here's the Vice President, J.D. Vance, speaking on what's going on in Minneapolis, as he's going to be there a little bit later on. Take a listen.
Now, I'm headed from here to Minneapolis, where we're going to talk with some of our ICE agents, talk with local officials about how we can turn down the chaos. And my simple piece of advice to them is going to be, look, if you want to turn down the chaos in Minneapolis, stop fighting immigration enforcement and accept that we have to have a border in this country. It's not that hard. If you look all across our country, what's happened in Minneapolis is happening almost nowhere else in the United States of America. And that's because whether it's in Texas or Tennessee, it's in red states, it's in blue cities, even within our country, most people are cooperating with the simple principle that we ought to be able to enforce our immigration laws and get illegal criminals the hell out of the United States of America. It's really not that complicated. But in a few distinct cities, you see this craziness because the far left has decided that the United States of America shouldn't have a border anymore, and they are willing to fight and penalize and dox and even assault our law enforcement officers in order to fight for the basic principle that anybody ought to be able to come into the United States of America. Well, I'll tell you right now, the Trump administration, we reject that. We are going to get illegal criminals out of our country, and we're not going to let a few left-wing radicals stop us.
Yeah, and it's mainly in these cities and states that have sanctuary laws in place that directly oppose coordinating and cooperating with the federal government, with agencies like ICE. You see it in places like Minneapolis, Minnesota, where liberal white women think that they are there to save brown people. Because if a liberal white woman isn't telling a minority group how to think and what to feel, then, well, she feels lost in life.
Don't fucking push me. You're taking him before I can take a phone number from him?
You need to stop.
You need to stop kidnapping people off the fucking street.
100%.
You just dragged him away when I'm trying to call his family for him.
We're making an arrest. You need to stay
Show
back
me
from
your
my
arrest
head.
warrant then. Show me your arrest warrant.
I don't need to show you anything.
Yeah, because you're a
not,
liar.
You're not an interested party. You have no right to see that.
Stop! You guys are kidnapping people off the fucking street.
We good? Yep.
Yeah, because what? Because someone came over to help them, you have to rush and get them in the fucking car?
You're being obnoxious in the lady.
Not being obstructive. You're being obnoxious.
This is 100%. 100%.
You guys have no conscience.
Yep.
If you're doing something right, take your mask off then.
Yeah, you're being cowards.
And unmarked cars.
Look at me!
trying to help them and you have to hurry up and get out of here? F you. Watch out, watch out.
Are these more people in unmarked cars? Yep. Yeah, just trying to like trying to run us over.
Yeah.
Like it's just all these vehicles, just unmarked cars.
Yeah, show your face if you're not a fucking coward. You're doing something that's lawful. Show your face. Get out of our fucking city.
Get the hell out. Go find a job that you can feel good about.
No kidding.
If you're proud of your job, take your fucking mask off.
Seriously.
Disgusting.
Wow. Wow. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. As always, smash the thumbs up. That tells me you like the video. Subscribe so that we can catch more of the content, and share this video. That way more people see what's really going on. Until next time.